Well, excuse me. Welcome to Missing in Minutes. I'm RD, also known as Danny, over on the 1111 Tarot channel, which you can find in the description below. I don't know if anybody will be up right now, but I couldn't sleep, and I thought we'd have a little talk. So I just watched It's a Crime. She was talking about Fight Club and Yosemite meaning those that kill. So I Googled it, and it turns out it also means grizzly bear. Now, I watched a little report sent to me by a reporter that was at the place that Gabby's body was supposed to be brought. I got to restart my streaming software. No data. Okay, I think we're on now. All right, you guys, I'm going to start it over because I know we're buffering. I don't know what the deal is. Okay, so, good Lord, the connection is crappy. Well, anyway. Yeah, it's really bad buffering, isn't it? I'm probably really choppy. We'll just wait for a few minutes and let it buffer out. Hey, Becca Chua. I couldn't sleep. I think I understand things a lot better now. We're going to be talking about this a little bit. So I watched a program, a little video about Yosemite that this person put out and the meaning of it. And it does mean those that kill, but it also means grizzly bear. No service at Yosemite, like this person said on It's a Crime, very well could have been a tagline. And that tagline scares me because I watched another little program. It was a news program where a reporter was at the coroner station there where they took Gabby's body. Now, they did bring the van back, but according to this reporter, the coroner stayed at the site. Normally, the coroner would come back with the body and do the autopsy, but we've had a delay. That delay is that the autopsy will be done tomorrow. Well, today, later on. This reporter stated that before all the reporters were moved out of the area where Gabby's body was found, that he could see huge, huge bear tracks literally all over the area. The next thing that I picked up on was that if there were multiple placements of Gabby's body from nature, which is what they were alluding to in this report, is that there were 3 sites actually, that the bear may have gotten to Gabby. Now, the first question comes to mind is, would she have been alive and attacked by a bear? Possible. Next. No service at Yosemite, and Yosemite means grizzly bear. So, I kept doing my readings over there on tarot, and I kept getting the bear eating the fish. Gabby is a Pisces, which is a fish. I'll let you draw that conclusion. It's left me without sleep. But my most worrisome part is I keep getting the hanged woman in the cards, as if somebody hung her there. And I got to thinking about this bright idea that he may have had, because I and half the world keep feeling choked when we think of Gabby. And we know he likes to put his hands on her face. If you strangled someone and you're in the Teton National Forest there, and you went way back in that area, is it possible that you'd simply put a rope on him and hang him from a tree so that nature would take its course? I have to ask the question, the big elephant in the room. If Brian Laundrie killed Gabby, did he make it possible for the bear to find her very easily, to rid the evidence of himself? Is that going to be his fallback? Is he going to come back to us when he's found? And is his defense going to be that they got into a fight, and the first time he left her thinking they were broke up? He came back to Florida, to his parents' home, and moved all her stuff out into a storage shed because that's what she said she wanted. He needed to go back for the rest of his stuff, and he found Gabby had been eaten by a bear. And he didn't know what to do. Is that the false narrative he's going to feed us? Because he just may, have screwed that up with this little tagline: no service at Yosemite. I'm going to switch over. We're going to look at desktop, and I'm going to show you something. I say that, but where is it? Give it a minute to catch up. Well, it just doesn't want to come forward, and I don't have the patience for it this early in the morning. So we'll just move everything down so you can see. And let's go over here, and let's look at this. Let me double check that you guys can see. Yeah. The name Yosemite itself is from the Indian word, I don't even know if I can say that, Yosemite, which meant grizzly bear. The Indian tribe that lived in the valley were called Yosemites by Caucasian and by other Indian tribes because they lived in a place where grizzly bear were common, and they were reported skilled at hunting the bear. Let's scroll down a little bit and understand more. The origin of the word Yosemite or Yosemite means literally those who kill. Yos, to kill, the modifier, one who. The Miwok tribes. I kept getting not only the bear eating the fish on the cards, but I was getting a lot of Indian stuff. A lot. The cards are never wrong. The card itself was the bear standing up on its hind legs in water with the fish in its mouth. I got it for every reading for Gabby. Never once did I think to myself, Gabby's is a Pisces. Pisces are fish. The fish is in the bear's mouth. The fact that the coroner didn't return with the van, but stayed on site and went to 2 other sites, according to the reporter. Bothers me deeply. But no service at Yosemite? I think "It's a Crime" is right. I think it's a tagline. I think he choked the crap out of her, and to get rid of her body, he just made sure the bear would find her. Now, obviously, they have found enough to be able to do identification by tattoos. But she also pointed out that Gabby and Brian were very much studying serial killing, and that Brian was obsessed with several books, but the Fight Club was a main one. And it makes me wonder, serial killer, because she mentioned something about killing 2 other women in that book. And we have 2 women killed in LaSalle, which is just a few minutes away from Moab. And Kylan Schulte was working that day in the store at the Moonflower when Gabby and Brian had their dispute, and the cops got called. Now, it's also interesting that there's a whole thing about this gentleman. Let's see if he's on here. There's this founding person, and he would not associate with different races and such while he was in the club, and that's associated with the name Yosemite. I thought about that, and I'm like, is it possible that somebody harbored a hate, and this was a hate crime on these 2 women? Like a true, legit hate crime? Serial killer style? You know, psychologists have looked at the ages of those serial killers when they snap. And if they have a form of schizophrenia, it can be in their 20s, early 20s and such. I don't know anything about that. I'm just saying that's what I read or heard or whatever. But the fact that they saw grizzly print huge all over the area really bothers me a lot. When Yosemite means grizzly and those that kill. And we have no service at Yosemite. No service. The phone's dead. The line is dead. At Yosemite. At Grizzly. Dead at Grizzly. What do you guys think? I mean, it's super late and I'm super tired, so I could be completely crazy with this. It's really bugging me. And you guys are the only ones I can really talk to about this. My screen's a whiteout if you're wondering. It'll come back in a minute. Carolyn Does says, my heart hurts thinking about what he did to her. Becca, I think he's going to say that he left her to go move her stuff because they were breaking up and the bear got her. Carolyn Does says, I think dad flew back with him and helped, but that's my opinion. I wonder the same, you guys. I keep getting the King of Pentacles over on the cards. Helping. That's usually Daddy. Somebody that's been around forever. you can rely on that's going to come out till the very end, be there and got your back. I'm also getting that he's with a familiar. No, Corinne Hasta, I have not read that. Corinne says he also portrayed the book with the character Oyster in Lullaby. Have you read the book Lullaby? He portrayed the character Oyster with a lot of similarities. So I think he murdered Gabby. I really honestly do. And I think he fed Gabby to the bear. Speak Life Garden, Homestead, and Permaculture says, yes, I have Millie May breaking it down on my channel. I was amazed at her analysis. I think she nailed it. Brian was likely invoking oyster in his life. What does that mean, you guys? Teach us. Corinne Hosta says he read a lot of serial killer books. Lullaby is one. And he portrayed the character in that book. Exactly. Okay, what did the character do, you guys? Share with us. Because I keep getting, no matter what, that there is like, almost like the bear eating the Pisces, the bear eating the fish. So bizarre. Hey, Rebecca Fudge Lovely. Rebecca Fudge says, I think Daddy is going to be in trouble too. I think there's a lot of people in that family. They're going to be in trouble. So Corinne says, if you go to TikTok and look up Millie May, Speak Life Garden, Homestead, and Permaculture says, I knew what you meant, Caroline. Rebecca Fudge says, and yes, I think you would be smart enough to be able to set that up. See, the thing is if you go over to Tarot, whether you believe in tarot or not, just watch the cards. We get the bear in the fish's mouth. Or the fish in the bear's mouth, I mean. And we keep getting the hanged man and the hanged woman hung from a tree. It's usually for a new perspective, which is exactly what it gave me. And then we have the bear tracks being reported by the reporter and the multiple sites. And I kept getting hidden waterfall. And there's a hidden waterfall right there. The cards were literally, 2 cards would come up together every time. Corinne says, I believe he will be linked to those 2 women. I think there's a couple more murders. They just needed to get as much evidence. True. I do too. Thomas McCauley says it seems like Ted Bundy for he got caught. Speak Life says, did you see the FBI visit Brian's sister today? No. I've been doing a lot of meditating, not really being online right now. I've just been trying to pull myself together because it was just, I knew there was going to be something earth-shattering coming, and I think it's going to be that a lot of pieces were found of Gabby. I think the bear, and I think that's how he planned it. Awesome, Rebecca, you should come over to 1111 Tarot. Or maybe you are already, I don't know. That channel's gone through the roof. We had at one point we had 48,000 people in 48,000 views in less than 48 hours because the cards are just so straight on, and I keep seeing that bear holding that fish in its mouth. I keep seeing these secrets. I keep seeing him choke her and push her, and I think he fed her to the bear. Now, when you look at the two other women, you've got Crystal Turner and Kylan Schmitty. So Schmitty and Turner were found with their clothing removed to their ankles from the waist down. It sounded like to me, like in my mind, I thought of how, these clothes could be peeled back away from the skin in a sense. And they're shot in so many weird, multiple, disturbing places. I wonder, you guys, we should, literally do what Rebecca's talking about. Rebecca says, what if this was his crisis country killing spree? Trying to pull it off behind her back? Well, let me say something. We need to look at the routes, the itinerary that he took, and see what lays in his wake. And I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. He might be living out some sick fantasy from books that he read. I just get really weird feeling about Looking Glass. So Looking Glass is a mirror, and I kept getting As Above, As Below, which is a mirror, which kept taking me to Alice in Wonderland and the Looking Glass. So I just went online and I looked up Looking Glass. I found out it's just a few miles from LaSalle where the two girls were killed. I also found out that Brian and Gabby passed right through there before they went to Moab. Is it possible on that night when Gabby was pulled away from him and they were separated that he did some prowling? I mean, I keep getting the song, sorry, Miss Jackson, I am for real, never meant to make your daughter cry, I apologized a trillion times. But go read those words. They get screwy. Corinna Hosta says, I believe she was covered in sleeping bags. Speak says, so it makes sense he would do with her, as you suggest, to give her to nature, so to say. I'm wondering, seriously, if you're not right, if he killed her, if he killed those other two women as well. Kylan was working at the store the day that Brian was there. She goes missing the day after. Both girls are never seen again after Friday. Not alive. Creepy as F. You got it, Rebecca. Corinne says, exactly, that's why he went to Florida to the storage to use as an alibi. Thomas McCauley says when Ted Bundy did his murder, he never took it to the police to finally... What now? Let me reread this. When Ted Bundy did his murder, he never... It took the police... It took the police to finally get him in custody because Ted Bundy was on the run for a while and had everybody fooled just like Ted Bundy did. Yeah, I'm really thinking he seriously is connected. And I think there could be others along the path. I've begun to mark wherever they cited wherever they said they sighted them, such as Victor, Ogden, all these places. It could just be missing right now people. Makes me sick to think that at night, if Gabby fell asleep, he would slip out, go murder someone, and then crawl back in her bed, too. Rebecca said I was talking about the creepy dude at work. What creepy dude at work? I remember there was a creepy dude that was supposedly near the female couple's campground, and they went back Friday night to move their campsite. And then it was numerous days later, after they couldn't find the girls, and the father was begging, please help me find my daughter, when a coworker found the two girls. And it was horrific. This just has me so freaked out about, like, the bear all over that area. I mean, you know, I hate to bring this up, but we are a true crime. This can get a little morbid. But I gotta talk about this. You know, people bait bear. I'll just leave it at that. I really honestly think we're going to find out that he's going to do something like fake his own death. But I think he went to Missoula, Montana, where there's college kids. It's a big, big college town. You can work for Wolf, which I was corrected. It's WWOOOLF, I believe. You can work in kind, stay off the grid, you don't pay no bills, nobody knows. You're in a college town. Whole bunch of young girls there about Gabby's age, aren't they? Speak says he's not making enough mistakes for this to be his first time, in my opinion. But it could be. He murdered in his mind, if not real life. But I imagine he'd make way more mistakes. You know, though, if you were camping, like when I was younger, I've lived in Montana. Mount St. Helens exploded when I lived in Missoula, Montana. And Kalispell, Montana I lived in, as well as Oregon. And one thing I will tell you, my grandma used to tell us, never camp at Yellowstone. You hear about the grizzly bears eating the campers. And I was like really young then, so that's like 40 some years ago. And my Aunt Cherry, my grandma's daughter, she was going camping at Yellowstone. And oh my golly, my grandma had a fit. Why would you camp there? You're literally like lunch, Grandma would tell her. You're just a snack. Becca says he went to Mexico. He may have. He's got that Spanish song on there, Self-Consumption. I agree, Corinne. Corinne says his parents, I think, got him a different vehicle. And they switched out the Mustang so he could get away. Thomas says, if you look at the Ted Bundy case and you look at this case and you put the two together, Brian's trying to do the same thing that Ted Bundy did. Kitty's trying to avoid any trying to fool people. I didn't quite understand all that, but I feel you. 'Cause, you know, I think, you know, Brian, I think, got him a different vehicle. And they switched out the Mustang so he could get away. Thomas says, if you look at the Ted Bundy case and you look at this case and you put the two together, Brian's trying to do the same thing that Ted Bundy did. Kitty's trying to avoid any trying to fool people. I didn't quite understand all that, but I feel you. I do. I think, who knows what all he did in Florida? Are there missing people around his neighborhood? Around his hometown or the side towns? How old is he? It's just exhausting. The sick people that do sick things. Squash a light. As bright as Gabby's. What does the oyster mean, please? Speak says, oh, I think you might be onto something with the vehicle. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, serial killers are groomed. This is just disturbing. What were they doing in Brian's shed, in his parents' shed today with all that photography? What's in the shed? What made them stop looking for him right away and just bust a move over there? I agree, Corinne. I hope they do catch this evil person soon. What would have made them bust a move, feds and all, take the mother out of the house? Mother goes into the van. Then the mother's allowed back in the house? What are they doing alongside of that shed? I keep getting that there's a letter and a key and a piece of jewelry. Carolyn says, I just don't understand how he thought her parents wouldn't have questions. They seem super, super close. Like, come on, dude. Also, his sister seems super close to Gabby. And Gabby sent her kids postcard all the time. Hey, Ashley McBrayer, how you doing? We're just sitting up late night, talking about serial killers and Brian Laundrie. I've spelt his name wrong on purpose, by the way. I'll change it in a minute. Because I think he's dirty like laundry. We're talking about how Yosemite... So, It's a Crime was bringing up how Yosemite means those that kill. It also means grizzly bears. And then I saw the report where a reporter was explaining how the coroner did not come back with Gabby's body, yet stayed on site. And there approximately are 3 sites where the coroner was interested in, if you will. And one of the reporters, before they were rushed out of the area, exclaimed that where they found or finding Gabby, there was huge bear tracks all over. Now, on every read I've had over there on 1111 Tarot, I've had the grizzly bear on his back legs, standing up with a fish in his mouth. Now, Gabby is a Pisces, which is a fish. And so, I come on here to ask you guys, did Brian murder Gabby and feed her to the bears to get rid of the evidence? And is he a serial killer? Jeannie Troglin says, false floor hole in shed, hiding his personal stuff in shed. My gut feeling watching that footage, can't shake it. Well, I'm doing all right, Ashley. Just really sad about Gabby right now. Trying to figure this out. Speak answered me. Thank you. Speak Life Guardian Homestead and Permaculture says it's the main character in a book he was reading and posting pics of it often really messed up. It's nearly a play-by-play of what Brian did. Okay, let me ask you then. What did Oyster do to kill his girlfriend? How did he murder her? Yeah, Ashley. Every reading, I think he fed the bear Gabby. Jeannie Traglin says, I keep getting journals, second phone with journal entries saved on it, or video journal. Me too. I feel it's a letter. I feel there's a letter. Like it's going to be some false narrative where Brian writes a suicide letter. And then somehow he fakes his death or some shit. Thomas Macaulay, and he puts his parents in jeopardy, make me in so much trouble as he could be. I think he very well could be. Hope to God they find him. I don't want him coming up to Wisconsin. What a cycle. How come every case I get into, like I was just looking for a missing person. Now I'm worried there's a serial killer. Yeah. So frustrating. Ashley McBrayer says, yeah, same here. Ever since I had that lucid dream that night, I've been heartbroken. I was shown like a weird vision the other day. I don't know what to make of it. I'll just share it with you guys. So, it's about Summer Wells. I dreamed she was here in Wisconsin. And I dreamed I knew she had passed away, but I was seeing her little spirit. And she took me to this homestead of some kind of a farm. And there was a tree, kind of like the one she had her swing on, but there was no swing. And it had a little cross on it in the ground. And I asked Summer, is that where you're buried? And she said, Rose and me. And Rose is from Wisconsin. I don't know, it could have been just a dream. I've been super tired, not sleeping great. Ashley says, yes, same here. I've been heartbroken. Speak Life says, they both went missing. I think then at the end, he goes off to start a new life. Really? Millie Mae covers it best as she reads the book from, then compares the biggest connections, which are chilling. Millie Mae? And what platform is Millie Mae on? I want to go read this or watch this. No, Ashley, what's the new picture they found? What is it? Like, I had to get off the news. It was getting to me. I couldn't do it. Corinne says, crazy his parents are somehow in law enforcement and brother currently Long Island PD. I keep seeing the Twin Towers too, and I don't know why, because they're gone. But then 9/11 too just happened when she was reported. I keep seeing New York. Yes, but Speak, I don't know how to get to your video page, hon. Ashley says, they say they think it could be him in it, but the guy has a yellow backpack, not a black one. And I think I see a neck tattoo on the guy's pic. Oh. Speak Life says, also, Oyster is a militant ecologist who refuses plastic and water with dirty feet just like Brian. TikTok. Okay, thank you. So for those of you that want to go over and give Millie Mae a look over on TikTok, I will be. I think I have TikTok. I don't know. Do I have to download TikTok? Sorry, you guys. I'm yawning now. I just needed to calm my mind down, and you guys do that so well. Yeah, I think we're going to be looking at a serial killer. I really do. And I think he could have left a wake of victims. The fact that the coroner stayed behind and didn't accompany Gabby's body, stayed on site, according to the reporter. According to the reporter, there were bear tracks, heavily large bear tracks, all over the area. Makes me think he killed Gabby and fed her to the bear. Oh, if you click your name. Well, we can't do it on the live, so when you're done here, just if you would do me a favor, speak live, and so that people can go see that stuff on your page, just put a comment down below, because those there we can actually click. So I'm going to be returning to the Summer Well page. I say page because it's heartbreaking there too. Any news on the... I've been gone off the case for about 5 days now because I had to figure out the Gabby Patina... I can't even say anymore. Potato case. Now I'm back on Summer Well. I need to just step away to find her and get back on the Summer case. Night Speak Live, thank you so much for coming in. Oh, sorry. Carolyn has to get back to work. Night, night, sweetheart. Thank you for coming in. So, Ashley, what did we learn from the sister's house today? It is just so sad, Brittany. I was going to go to bed, Brittany. I couldn't sleep after everything. I finally decided that I needed to come out here. Speak, it won't let us do the links on the live, but if you'll put it in the description after the video, it will. Thomas says, how many states did Ted Bundy go to before they finally put him away? Brian might be doing the same thing that Ted Bundy did, traveling state to state. Yes, Carolyn. Maybe he killed her and was hoping a bear would get her so he could blame the bear. Well, I'm gonna throw this out there for you guys. I keep getting that it's baited. Like he set it up so that she would be found by bear. That's just my personal opinion. I think he made it possible and more than likely made sure of it. I think that's his way of getting away with it. You know, I was thinking about the Madeline Kahn case. I was watching some of that earlier today. And the man they suspected doing that had girlfriends. And from time to time, and all the girlfriends were choked, hit, and treated with DV. Very serious DV. And yet, he's horrible, horrible person. Recorded beating up, raping, and abusing an elderly lady. Recorded the whole thing. Sick. But yet, He had girlfriends, see? I did keep getting that cleanup card, Ashley. Remember? I think he made damn sure that the part of her we needed to know what he did to her, which was probably the neck, was probably fed to the bear. Sounds good, Speak Life. So Ashley says, I'm not sure I was wondering why they were even there, but they wouldn't let the person continue recording there. They made them turn it off before they approached the house. Huh. Brittany Gamboa says, right? My brain went into overdrive when we got off the phone. It knocked me out for like 20 to 30 seconds. Haha. Well, I think I'm going to hop off here and try to get some sleep. We've been on here about 47 minutes. But this whole Yosemite meeting Grizzly Bear, no service, could mean he knew he was going to feed the bear. Yes, Corinne, I hope so too. I hope we do know. The autopsy should be complete. We should know something tomorrow, she says. Not that I know of, Jeannie. Jeannie asked, have there any other girls come forward who dated Brian in the past? I haven't heard. Oh, sorry. I haven't heard of any. It's 2:04 in the morning here. I just kept going over and over and over that card. I have another reading on Ryan over on Love 11 Tarot, but I haven't released it yet. I'm going to watch it before I go to bed, because I didn't put all this together. Sometimes the cards are telling me things. It takes other people to look at it. I mean, how was I supposed to know that a grizzly bear with a fish in his mouth might mean literally a Pisces being fed to a bear? God. Just numbing, mind numbing. Maybe that's why Gabby had Let It Be tattooed on her arm. Maybe somehow, subconsciously, her higher self knew that we would just have to let that be. You know, not think too deeply on it. Things happen. But when it comes to Brian Laundrie, I do feel he's going to fake his own death in some manner. He's either went to Missoula, Montana, New York, or Mexico. 3 locations. Could he get lost in a crowd in New York? Could he change his appearance enough? Be a lot of people he could follow up with. Or, I guess there's 4 places. Because like Thomas said, maybe he's just going to keep traveling. When I first learned of Gabby missing, I was like, why in the hell don't they have him? Like, no, they can't touch him. Fine. put private eyes on him, follow him everywhere he goes until we know what happened to Gabby. Did I ever post his tarot reading? Not yet. Not yet. I'm going to watch it again. Sometimes after I do the reading, then I go back and I watch it. I can even see double meanings and triple meanings, but it's already recorded. Especially after now, I understand so much more about the bear with the fish that we couldn't. Remember, I'm like, there's the bear. And it's got the fish in its mouth. And look, a fish card even. And I was just freaking out. Well, now we know. Well, we will. There will be an answer. Let it be. Let it be. Due to a past life. Let it be. I hear you, Jeannie. I'm tired. All right, guys. I love you so much. Thank you for coming on with me at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm exhausted finally. And I got to drive around tomorrow, so I definitely got to get some sleep. I guess just this whole shocking event. One of the listeners sent me the video about the reporter and the bear tracks and the coroner finding an interesting 3 places, meaning spread out. Just shocking. But hey, out of the entire United States, out of 400,000 square miles, I got that intuitive message. Hidden Falls happened to be right near Jenny Lake, right near Dispersed Campground, Spread Lake. I think he moved her and he spread her out, if you get my drift, to make sure the bear found her. They certainly didn't. They always make mistakes in these cases. Well, that was before the FBI got involved, though, that they lost him, see. And you know how that works with nepotism. Thank you. Thank you, guys. You guys sleep well, too. I love you guys. I'm going to get back on that Summer Wells case. We'll start that tomorrow. I'll try to release this video on Ryan. It's a bizarre one, but I'll tell you right now, it shows that he's going to paint a false narrative. Don't fall for it. The bear didn't get Gabby. He got Gabby, and then he set it up to cover his tracks. So don't fall for the false narrative the cards are telling me. All right. Thank you, Brittany. Thank you so much. Sleep well, you guys. Much love. God bless you all.